Bend it like Declan.
Bro, I can't breathe right now, man. Oh, I take everything back. I said every bad thing I've said about Declan Rice, about Arsenal. We're the best team in the world. We're gonna win the Champions League. Mikel Arteta's the best manager ever. Mikel Marino's the best nine ever. Oh no.
You see, this is the problem. You see, this is the problem with Arsenal. Relax, relax.
Nah, because you guys haven't done what we did to Madrid ever. I'm not having it. I thought we are gonna go to this match, yeah, and maybe nick a 1-0, 0-0, or even I even had both teams to score. And
Mm.
then at the during the first half when Kibio Timber gave the ball away, sorry, my voice has gone slightly, I was screaming. And I think Mbappe had a couple chances. Ray made a good few saves, whatever. And then we've gone in 0-0. I was like, oh, Madrid are in a better position because they have, I guess, the better experience, the better players or whatnot. And then Declan Rice just says, you know what? I'm just gonna, yeah. Oh,
Right.
you see this badge right here? We're winning it. We're winning it. Oh, sorry. I just can't believe what I watched.
Nah, man. You know what? I'm actually happy for you guys because I think it could go two ways. At the start, obviously, I was saying that Arsenal are gonna get slapped. Like at the start, like 2, 3 weeks ago, we was all waiting for this, right? And then
Mm.
closer to the time, I can't remember one of my mates, and we were just talking. I said, seriously though, if Arsenal take the chances that they have, they could leave 2-0 these times,
Nah.
yeah. Seeing a 3
Mm.
0 I'm not shocked. And funny enough, that I think Ty on AFTV, the guy with the glasses, he
Yeah.
mentioned that as well and saying, oh, I think Arsenal would win 3 0. And everyone's like, oh, you really think we're going to beat Madrid 3 0? And he's like, we can do it. Because the truth of the matter is, you guys create chances, but the problem was just finishing. And today was your lucky day. With Madrid, on the other hand, they're always lucky. They're always finessing like moments, right? And there has to be a time whereby that's not going to work. And I think it was today, man. I think it was today. Like you can't get yourself out of, you know, every time you just get yourself out of stuff, right? So
Yeah. I'll be
yeah,
honest. I'll be honest. I was one of those Arsenal fans that are like, I don't see us winning today. I was speaking to some of my friends at work, or my colleagues, and they're obviously doing score predictions. And I was like, honestly, we'll be lucky if we get a draw because on paper, when you think about it, Saka's just come back. We have no striker. Gabriel's out. Kibio's a bit shaky. Timber is not fully fit. And we're going against Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, and Mbappe. I don't understand how Madrid didn't score. So I was looking at it, it's like, you know what? At least we made it to the quarterfinals. At least we tried.
yeah,
I had zero faith. But then, obviously, when you hear the anthem North London Forever, when I'm watching the match, I'm like, come on, guys, just like do something. And Saka was amazing. He just showed what we missed.
yeah.
And then Mikel Marino has just been the best makeshift striker I have seen. Like he's not a striker clearly, like when you watch him, but he's our top scorer this year. So he's
Wow,
doing something right.
wow,
So I literally I can't complain.
wow, wow.
Mm.
You know the thing with Madrid, I saw their last game. Was it last week or the week before
Oh,
the
last
cup
week they
game?
lost.
Nah, the week before, right? Or maybe
Oh
the
yeah.
same week, the cup game, right? And I was watching it, and it was like I remember at a point in time they were like, was it 3-2 up on aggregate? And
Oh yeah, against
was it Real
who was
Sociedad?
it? Yeah, it was Real Sociedad. They
Yeah, I
got
think
was
so.
it? Yeah.
And they eventually won in the end, and won like 5-4. Was it 4-3 on aggregate? But I
They
was
won.
like,
They won six. I think they won 6-5 on aggregate, and the
oh,
draw was the score was 5-5 on the
5-5.
second leg.
Yeah. So I was like, why did it? It didn't have to get to that. It didn't. It didn't.
Yeah.
But for years, Madrid actually play expansive football, which a lot of
Mm,
people don't know. They feel like we're gonna make you think you can attack us so that we can score. Since they had Ramos, there's always spaces on the pitch. I
mm,
don't believe in Mendy like that as a left back.
mm.
Alaba is obviously just getting back. Their moments team, in my eyes, they're like a better version of like what Man U are. Like their moments team, like you know, don't get it twisted. Madrid are goated, but
Yeah.
there's some days are meant for football, and Arsenal deserve it, man. If Arsenal can go
Yeah.
and clean up in the second leg, I think it'll be a wake up call for Madrid, whereby instead of them to realize that maybe they shouldn't have got Kylian, it would be more so like, oh, this is Ancelotti's last season, and the mistake that they could make, I feel, going forward is actually hiring Xabi Alonso. I don't think it's time.
Nah, that job's too big for him. You
Because
see,
because you Motta, who was doing these crazy things at Bologna, right?
mm,
He was playing like a 3-5-2, but the five in the middle or whatever drop back all the way to centre back to get the ball, and then the centre backs actually go up top. When I saw the breakdown online, he's been doing some crazy stuff. So he hasn't even had up to a full season at Juve, and they've cut their losses. So I don't think Alonso should go to Madrid. Not now, anyway. Yeah.
you know, the crazy thing about Madrid, yeah, is that even though they've just lost 3-0 today, they lost 2-1 at the weekend against Valencia at home. They are very much still in the Champions League
They're
tie.
very much capable.
That's the thing, because even at 2-0, at 1-0, I was like, okay, we need to get a second. At 2-0, I was like, we need to get a third. And then even at 3-0, I was like, yo, we're still not safe, because there was a moment where we just lost the ball. I think they went on the counter. They didn't score anything because defensively we were really good. But it's like going back to the Bernabeu, 3-0 is a 0-0 to them. And they have the quality to score 4 goals in one half.
They can
And
score
we've
2
seen
goals
it.
in 15 minutes, and the pressure from that stadium will be crazy.
Honestly, and it's the thing where we know like Arsenal players can crumble when they go to St. James, when they go to Anfield. Like we know stadium pressure gets to us.
A man
But
said St. James.
no, St. James's Park, like Newcastle away. Sorry, I'm still buzzing on this win, but Newcastle away is one
It's
of the
a tough
most,
game. It's a
yeah.
tough game.
So then now add Real Madrid at home, Champions League night. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
the belly of the beast. So even though I'm really happy that we've won, like we've played well, like Declan Rice, I was watching this interview now, the job's not done. And that's the scary thing. And with Real Madrid, they have so much Champions League pedigree where it's all right for them to go 2-0 behind or 3-0 behind. Because I think it was the season where they came back from, what was it? They were losing against PSG, losing against Chelsea, and losing against City. And they came back, and that was the season they won the Champions League.
That was the Benzema.
So, yeah, when Benzema was just going crazy. So they're in a crazy enough comfortable position. An early goal next week, and it's a game.
Mm.
That's a scary thing. But I'm gonna enjoy this high right now. Like I just can't believe. I wish I had a ticket for this match, but it was just impossible to get.
I'm sure everyone in London was there. I was looking at prices with like 800 quid. All of
Yeah,
that.
it was crazy. But honestly, I think obviously Declan Rice man of the match. Saka, like I'm happy for Mikel to play the kids on Saturday because we all know the league is done.
Yeah.
Like we're in a weird top 4-ish race or whatever, but the league is done. We need to put all our eggs in one basket, and that basket happens to be the Champions League. But it's like our eggs are slightly cracked because we don't have a fully fit squad. That's the crazy thing. And I generally believe if somehow Arsenal win the Champions League, it will be the greatest team ever to win the Champions League because it's the most unexpected. With no striker, with your star defender out, and your defensive line always changing. It'll be the greatest achievement.
I won't go as far as the greatest team. You can say greatest achievement, yeah, but not the greatest team.
I personally think it'll be the greatest team because no one expected us to do it.
I'll tell you what the greatest team is in my lifetime. Anyway, I'll never forget 2005, man. I was a young boy watching that game. I watched that game live. Liverpool, AC Milan. There was a patched up team. Harry Kewell, injury prone. Gerrard carrying. Like I'm one of them United fans that don't hate Gerrard like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I was actually low key rooting for them. Harry Kewell on stilts. You know what I mean? Milan Barros. You know, fighting for his life before he gets sold. James Carragher, not the greatest patchwork. Xabi Alonso had just come into the team. Was it the season before that? Yeah, I think, yeah. And he was just added a dimension that finally someone that could play with Gerrard. You had a flipping Luis Garcia on the other wing. These times they had players like Cinema on goal. Like it was a patch team.
Bro, but that supports my point because that team
was worse than this. But then, and they went 3-0 down.
And that team were the underdogs.
Yeah.
So then I feel like that Liverpool team is better than this Arsenal team.
No way.
You don't
Liverpool
think
2005 Champions League winning team is not better than this Arsenal team.
didn't they have a fully fit squad?
I don't know about fully fit. I can't remember, but I know for a fact
Alonso,
that
Gerrard.
Gerard, Alonso, ballers. Who was in goal? Like Dudek, but was Dudek really top draw? Decent keeper. Left back, Reece.
Mascherano, was Mascherano there?
Nah.
No, he wasn't there.
Yeah, Mascherano's new.
You know, to be fair, I was only 5 years old at the time, but
Do,
I
do you know what's so weird, right? Like flipping. I vividly remember like watching the 1998 World Cup,
wasn't around.
and I was 6 then.
No, I remember being 6 and watching Zidane headbutt someone in that World Cup.
This is what I'm saying. So, like, you know, sometimes when you look back and you think you were 6, like your brain didn't work. It's not true because I watched that whole World Cup, right? And I remember that day was a Sunday, the final of the 98 World Cup. And my dad, after church, we went to some guy's house. And I remember just sat down, they were having a little discussion, meeting or whatever. And obviously I'm a Ronaldo fan, right? The old Ronaldo. And I remember just being sat down watching it on the little TV. And I remember just being so upset that Brazil lost, right? And everyone was saying, oh, Ronaldo got ill, he got poisoned, whatever. And the following year, or maybe the year after as well, I remember it was the African Cup of Nations, I think Nigeria, Ghana, and it was combined, and that was in the year 2000. So that would have been like 2 years after. But yeah, I just remember that. So all of this is, I'm all under the age of 10 years old. And I remember, so when we talk about football, bro, if you can remember the headbutt, he was like 5 then. You can see how much football's just been in our lives. Whereby people will say like, oh, you were 5. What do you know about that? Bro, I remember, man. But yeah, man, that Liverpool team, I'll definitely say it was worse than this Arsenal.
You think?
Team. But to be honest, so you got Saka, who's like a leading player. So let's just see how many.
But not fully fit. But in context, not a fully fit Saka.
If you win the final, he'll be a bit up to speed by the final.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. A bit up to speed. So you got Saka, you got Trossard, baller that you can bring on. Bro, Harry Kewell's on stilts, bro. Like he's just on his last legs. You get me? So you got that. Milan Barros in today's world would have been like your Gabby Jesus, a striker who's just doing a lot but not scoring. Doing a lot but not scoring.
That's Gabby Jesus, honestly.
Then they had Dirk Kuyt on the, I think he played that on the right. Yeah, I think so. So
he was a baller.
He was a striker that they had to end up using as a right winger for most of his Liverpool career. Because that was still in them 4-4-2 days, and he was a hard worker. So they put him on. Brother, I believe Dirk Kuyt played in that, man. Let me just correct, because I don't like bad facts.
Because the way I'm seeing it is that Liverpool team had their best starting 11, but then let's say Arsenal make it to the final. We don't have our best midfielder. Obviously, we don't have a striker. I mean, not midfielder, sorry, defender. Obviously, we don't have a striker, but then I guess that's the board's fault. How about who I prefer up front is not there. Gabby Jesus is not there. Calafiori is there but not there. Always getting injured. Tomiyasu is not available, and I think he's the most reliable right back. Yeah. Ben White's not fully fit, and I really like Ben White. Who else? Obviously, Saka's just come back, but hopefully he'll stay fit. Even Moreno's playing with a groin problem. Yeah, I was at the Fulham match, and then there were reports that during the warm up he had issue with his groin. So like our squad is very thin, and again, I guess there's more our fault that our squad's like this because the money was spent on Sterling for a loan and a couple keepers when we needed a striker, we needed an extra midfielder. But now is not the time to complain about Arsenal. We have just beaten Real Madrid 3-0. Past the pads, whitewash. I am so like Mbappe didn't score. I can't believe it.
I told my brethren all the time, bro. Mbappe. Side note, Dirk Kuyt did not play in the final. He went to Liverpool in 2006. That's just a fact I wanted to put out there. I knew it was a bit close. But yeah, I told my brethren all the time, like, Mbappe is like, you see, he played with no fear. And when he was younger, and then when you look at his goal catalogue, it's crazy. Like, He's one of the few guys that can beat a goalkeeper at his near post from outside.
Mm.
He has those type of finishes in him, but I don't know what happened and what went wrong. Even at PSG before this move, we've been seeing it because sometimes that he was playing with Neymar and Messi, there's loads of moments about you beat a man, you beat a man, you beat a man. Pause. It's time to give the ball. Give the ball. Okay, I said it 3 times. But
No, it's football. No, it's football. We get it. We get it. It's football. It's football.
it's like it's time to lay the ball off, and he wouldn't. He would try and like, and for me, that's when it started hitting me like game intelligence, right? So in these moments, this is where a team like Madrid lose, whereby yeah, he'll win you them small games against Sociedad and score them goals, but as a team where Real Madrid went away from developing the Galacticos type team,
Yeah.
if Perez has gone back to that a tiny bit, whereby why would you upset Vinny on the left? Vinny is your mate. He's won the Champions League twice, so Mbappe can't come and chat to Vinny in that team because we all know how football works. That's Vinny's dressing room. So
I have a question, but then now I have a question
yeah,
because I saw a debate and it was about Haaland and City, and I feel like the same thing can be applied to
like,
Mbappe and Real Madrid. Has Mbappe made Real Madrid worse?
of course. But with City's one, what would you now say when they've won the Champions League? So yes, in hindsight, they won the Champions League,
Mm.
and I think we have to know how to frame things. So they got what they always wanted because it was a different outlet. But does it mean in the long term that works for you? No, because for example, it's like someone doing something illegal to get money to pay for his child's school fees or whatever, or pay for
Mm.
healthcare. In the moment, you've done the right, well, not the right thing, but you've done
Yeah.
something that you can pay for this healthcare now. Now, you've now entered a world that people know who you are, the
Mm.
underworld, and now you have to keep doing that to make bread. Your life is at danger, your life is at risk, your family's life is at risk. You owe people money, you got to stash weapons for people. Do you know what I mean? Now you're in a world that if you didn't do this one thing to, to solve this issue,
Mm.
you'd have been fine. That's how I look at it. So did Haaland help City win the Champions League? On paper, they'll tell you yes. On paper, they'll tell you Grealish helped out. Yes.
Mm.
But if you're not going to let Grealish be like a floating Roma
Yeah.
number 10, you've distorted his career.
Mm.
You've distorted it. Haaland now, when he plays, you play with a man less,
Mm.
whether you like it or not.
It's
Do you know what I
true.
mean? So that's what Mbappe did. So my answer to you, facto, yes, because I told you, bro, Rodrigo's the guy that people are sleeping on. He's a baller.
Facts.
Rodrigo's
Yeah.
a baller. My mate is
Mhm.
always on his case that he's a baller.
I feel like with Mbappe, and this happened to Ronaldo at the latter stages of his career, where instead of being involved in the passage of play, he's just at the end product. So he has to be the final pass. He has to be the final guy to have the ball. So they're working to get the ball to Mbappe so he can score. Whereas with the Madrid team with Benzema, Benzema wasn't the final pass or the final person with the ball. Anyone could have it. So I feel like because it's so Mbappe focused, it's closed off certain avenues within the team. That's why, for me, Madrid, it's harsh to say they've gone backwards, but after watching today, I do feel like they haven't progressed with Mbappe.
They have. They were better off even allowing Mbappe to go Man City at some point. Lowly, Mbappe should be in City and Haaland should be in Real Madrid.
Mbappe just signed for Arsenal. Like that was the perfect move. The 14 shirt was there, Henry-esque. Like,
Bro, listen, he can't sign for a small club.
you know what? I'll be so real. We can't afford him. We don't have that type of money.
Even if you could, yeah, like just off like pedigree alone, like you just can't, man. Yeah, I remember there was the rumor that at the time that Benzema said, well, like he would never sign for Arsenal, and he dissed Arsenal, some stuff like that. But it's just it's too small for him. You know what I mean? Like because
Yeah,
these
when
type of
Madrid come
guys,
calling, you can't say no.
yeah. But you know what will happen? Yeah, they will come back around because my whole thing is actually like I want to predict the future moves of some players. So I believe let's do that. I believe Mbappe will end up at AC Milan one day. Yeah, yeah. From here on, there's nowhere else you go. You can't play for any other team in Spain. He's
You
not.
can't.
He's not in Spain.
We've seen it happen before.
Mbappe's not playing for another team in Spain. He's not playing for Barcelona. Neither is he,
Yeah,
neither is he
yeah.
playing for Atletico Madrid, defending the whole game. He's not
He'll
doing that.
he'll come to England before he comes to Italy.
Impossible. You know why? You know what
Why?
England does, yeah? England is what I call a casting thing. It will cast you, bro. England. England, João Felix ran away from England.
That's Chelsea. That's Chelsea. That's
Bro,
Chelsea.
Sancho, Koulibaly. Koulibaly
So,
says in the documentary that I watch, the Saudi doc on Netflix, you should watch that. It's cold.
yeah.
Koulibaly's like, bro, in England, Koulibaly's the one that played at Chelsea, right? The centre
He
back.
plays for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's
there
like,
for a
bro,
year.
in England, there was no time to think. This is a guy that's coming from Napoli, bro. There's no time to think on the ball. The man, they're gone. England is like, it's quick. So,
And that suits Mbappe's game. Mbappe is just
okay, so
slots.
Real Madrid sell him to who? What? Liverpool.
Do you know what? If it's not
handle,
Arsenal, it makes sense for Liverpool.
but they can't handle that presence. Liverpool are not going to spend 80 M on an Mbappe in like 4 seasons or 3 seasons, and 90 M, and put him on like 450, 500 racks a week. Impossible.
Do you know what? Actually, yeah, but Mbappe's how old now? He's 25, 26.
Let me check. Let's give
It's crazy because he's still mad young.
Yeah, I told you, he's 26. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's 26. So what? 4 years, he's 30. He's 30. So he should be. Do you know what? Would you say Mbappe peaked early? Because we all saw him at Monaco, then PSG, and literally after PSG,
we saw him in that World Cup that he won. Yeah. Not even peaked early. He was just fearless. You know why? Because when we watch Mbappe now, when we talk about peak here, when we watch Mbappe now, he doesn't look like he's digressing because of physical state or whatever. It's just bad decision making and not wanting to be a number 9. Ryan Giggs changed his gameplay. Ryan Giggs changed his gameplay over time. David Beckham, in the later years of his career, after going to America for a bit, came back and was playing in the middle. Because of his ball delivery and his game understanding. He wasn't on the wing. He's not going to run. The old man.
My friend did mention that and I remember arguing with him, but now I see it. He feels like since he's won the World Cup, he's slightly been on the slow decline.
Of course.
And it's crazy.
It does a thing to you psychologically. Look at Pogba. Do you know what I mean? Like, it does a thing to you, bro. And a lot of these guys, and it's not that Mbappe doesn't even have the drive. So I don't think drive is his problem. I think it's just, I don't see him at the training pitch, innit? So I don't know. But I think it's just getting his head around. You're not going to get everything your own way. And part of that might be, bro, play like a 9. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, flipping. We'll see. Let's move on to if you guys win, who do you play?
We either play PSG or Aston Villa.
You play PSG or Villa. If you play Villa, who wins?
If we play, sorry, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. If we play Villa, we win. We go to the final. If we beat Real Madrid, or if we get through this Real Madrid second leg, we win the Champions League.
So you think you guys can beat either Barcelona, Dortmund, Bayern, or Inter Milan?
Please, I beg, please.
Oh man, you're not Inter in the final.
Listen, let me get into it. Cool. The toughest match in the whole bracket is Real Madrid. Cool. Yeah. Let's say on paper we get that 0-0 next week or whatever, so we're through to semi-final. Both of those teams we have to play, we've already beaten this season. We've beaten PSG at home. We've beaten Aston Villa away. Obviously, we were 2-0 up at home, then we bottled it, but they haven't beaten us this season. So that's a final secure. Now, on the other side, let me start with Dortmund and Barca. Let's say Dortmund get through. Okay, what is that supposed to be a threat? Dortmund. This is not the Dortmund of old. It's just Karim Adeyemi and yeah. I don't, no disrespect to Dortmund, but they're not a threat. Barca, I guess like they have a couple cool players. They have the young kids from Spain, but I just don't see us losing to Barca. The only team I'll think, okay, cool, it'll be a challenge, will be Bayern. But
Yeah.
then again, Bayern have that bozo gene, and I don't know where they got it from, whether it's
They,
Harry Kane bringing the
they
Spurs gene
do.
or company. Because like Bayern's just the fact they didn't win the league last season is crazy to me, and the fact that there's a title race on is still mad.
Yeah.
It's like when I look at the team, no, honestly, when I look at the teams remaining, I'm like, if like anyone could get it, real. I'm not scared.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I like that. Bayern's got a bozo gene. I like that. I hear you.
Yeah, it's
I
like
hear you.
company. I know people say they'll probably win the league or whatnot, but I don't. I still think they won't win the league. I don't watch the Bundesliga, but I know it's close right now, and I think Leverkusen are still keeping the league or the race alive. And Vincent Company, he's just inherited a good squad and Bayern's Bundesliga pedigree. But in the Champions League, what Bayern lost 2-1 today, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and they were at home, I believe. They were at home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's even say we don't even have to play Bayern. Okay, Inter Milan beat us this season. Fair enough. A penalty. It happens to us. But I'm not really scared of that team the way all the teams remaining the way I'm scared of this Real Madrid team.
Mm.
And then we just done this Real Madrid team 3-0. Is the arrogance coming out of me? 100%. But I just watched my team beat the reigning Champions League winners, by the way.
Talk your thing, bro. Talk
Honestly,
your
now big man
thing.
thing. Real Madrid are the champions of the Champions League right now. They're the reigning champs. And they came to the carpet, N5, North London, and they went home with nothing. What? Can't chat to me about Inter Milan like I'm supposed to be scared. It's not Jose's Milan. Please, some respect. Let me dust off this badge quickly.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Listen, man. I'm happy for you, man. Listen, that was a brilliant moment. Like I was just watching you just live in your element. Bro, I'm gassed. I'm happy for you, man.
It's a beautiful thing for football. My sister messaged me saying, congratulations, football, not Arsenal, football. Because these are the moments we live for. Like,
of course.
Oh, like imagine if you went to the match, you could say, oh, that match I went to a couple years ago when Arsenal beat Real Madrid 3-0. These are matches we're going to remember forever. But it only means something if we win the competition. And that's why I genuinely believe, because we've done this today, if we can get over the hurdle next week, it'll be a challenging hurdle, but we are more than capable of doing it. Semi-final for the first time since 09 when we played United. We can win it. We can generally win it. And then
Now carry on.
And then if we win the Champions League, second in the league and the Champions League, Mikel Arteta he's not going to be Arsenal's greatest manager, but he'll be up there with them because no Arsenal manager has delivered us that trophy.
He'll have his own room. Di Matteo way. Have your own room. Just have his own section of Wenger did this, but Mikel did.
Arteta did that. And then even with Liverpool losing, this is where the Arsenal delusion gene comes in. Because I'm like, wait, Liverpool lost. So they can be in the decline. Arsenal go have Brentford at home. If we win this many games and Liverpool keep losing and then win the Champions League, we can do the double. We can do the double. Like, you're not getting it, bro. Like, we can actually do the double. And if Mikel Arteta does the double, he is the greatest Arsenal manager ever. Champions League and League in the same season. You can't chat to him. Build him a statue. I'll build it myself.
That might be tough to argue because I think we watched how he built this team, man. We actually watched it, and I mean, obviously they will never allow you to be greater than the founding fathers, Wenger and stuff. But in a modern era, for sure, like he would have his statue right beside because he's done his own page in history, which Wenger wasn't able to do, man. So, man, I'm happy for him, man. And I like Mikel a lot, man. It's not easy to. He's always composed, but I like the fact that he's feisty enough to give the media stuff.
Yeah.
The reason why the media take it from Pep is because Pep is a winner and he's won. And this whole narrative is the greatest of all time. So when Pep lashes out things, right, people sort of take it, right? And like, look at where City are now. instead of it to be a question on Pep, it would never be. It would just be, oh, the players are old, and then you hear Pep saying stuff like, oh, no, I'm bad manager. No, me too. I need to go work under the, you know what I mean? But if Postecoglou says that, they'll be like, yeah, you're a bad manager. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh no, his interviews are crazy.
yeah, bro. He's rattled, bro. He's
Yeah.
rattled, bro. So, yeah, man, I'm happy for Mikel. I really do hope. I mean, I don't know if I want you guys to win the Champions League because I don't know
You
what
want
that.
us to win. You're a Londoner. You're a London United fan. You support Arsenal. Come on, man. You're a London United fan.
I support West Ham. Don't get it twisted.
No. Oh, okay. Fair. I forgot your hammer.
I'm a hammer,
fair
bro.
Fair enough. Irons.
Yes. And I watched us win the conference. But before we wrap up, how do we feel about Odegaard? Quickly, just touch on that.
He hasn't had a great season, let's be brutally honest. His season has been average. Yes, it's been hindered by his early injury or whatnot, but since he's come back to the squad, that hasn't been great. However, he did play well today, so I'm very happy for him. But going forward, as our captain, he needs to be, I guess, better and lead as an example, because I'm a firm believer that the captain has to be the best player. And right now, he's not the best player. That's Saka. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of having a bad ankle injury at the start of the season. But it's been a poor season for him, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you guys make something of this, whatever that is, even if it's getting to the final and losing, at least for the experience.
No, I don't want to lose. Please. I remember 2006. Please. No. By fire, by force, we're winning it. Please. Don't want to hear that.
Fair enough. Before we wrap up, what was I going to say? Oh, yes. If you can, for those that are tuned in now, I know like a bunch of people have been messaging, they're listening on the audio, we're seeing the downloads, all that stuff. Thanks for streaming. Chairman and I'll try and do this more often, but we're going to try and go to the Milan derby. So hopefully we can all be there. If we all get there, that would be historic. That would be A1. I know the content would be crazy. But yeah, this coming season, we want to defo touch a lot of stadiums, a lot of games, and just be out there, man. Do you know what I mean? Back up our talk, man, because we love the sport. We watch the games and just invest in ourselves and invest in what we're doing and the experience, right? So if we get something back out of it, great. But if we don't, at least we've been to these places. So I'm looking forward to going to the San Siro, man. Looking forward to it.
Beautiful stadium. Looking
forward to it, man. Yeah, man. It's gonna be all blue in this leg, so I'm not gonna wear my kit.
And I was mad. I actually prefer Inter Milan. That's crazy.
Oh, really? My number one team is over there is Juve. I'm a Juve guy, but then I've always loved AC, and then I think I really like Roma as well. And obviously when Napoli with Osimhen and that, but I don't think in Italy it matters because all their top players have played for all the clubs. You see, like Pirlo when he was young, there was like Juve played at AC, they play for all themselves. So there's nothing like loyalty over there, man.
Yeah, Dybala was at Juve. He went to Roma.
Yeah, bro. Them man, they look, bro. Look at
Lukaku.
Roma. Yeah, Lukaku. Look at Tammy. Roma, AC. That, bro. In Italy, they don't care. Even old Ronaldo plays for Inter and AC.
And Ibrahimovic, yeah. yeah.
It's for all of them.
Listen, it's free eats over there. It's free eats.
Yeah, so there's no way I can be there. Someone can be like, "Oh, why have you got the free kits, bro? I need to get an Inter kit, bro, and add that there, bro. Like it's Italy, and I get the Roman. I
have an Inter kit. I have an all black Inter kit. Yeah, the one from the 2019-2020 season, the away kit.
Oh, that's hard, man. If you do come, I'll be sick. Wear that. And then we'll go on the road, do some interviews, do some cool stuff, and yeah. But that's about it, man. I just want to congratulate you today. I was like, listen, we have to jump on the pod today. We got to get this. We're gonna upload it right now, so you guys tune in, go watch that now, and then yeah, man. We'll see you in a couple of weeks in the return leg, Bernabeu.
We're winning it. Come on, Arsenal.
All right, man. Keep tuning in, keep listening, man. Peace, man. Love, bro. You enjoy the rest of your day, bro.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna rewatch highlights right now.
Same. All right, man. Love, man. Peace.